Hello everyone and welcome back to the second best of 3 of the night. We're one map in, for those who missed it. Secret took Cafe from Secretly, who's a member of Chaos. 7-5. That's a way of winging that round.
Secretly.secret.
Yeah, no, that's unfortunate. No, he is definitely on Chaos, but he lost it. So we'll jump into our second map before I already mess up as many words as possible.
You feeling okay, bud?
It's been a very long few weeks here in the studio in Split, and we're almost near the end. And This is actually my last playday. This is my very last one. Obviously, I was in the studio last night doing NA for a good 8 hours.
Yep.
And back here again. Are you just going through Twitter? Stop looking at your DMs.
I'm not looking at no DMs. What are you talking about?
Are you DMing Leon Gids, but are you still sassing each other?
I'm just saying to him, tell Feral I said well done.
Pass word on, please. Secret and Chaos, one map in Coastline, which is Chaos's pick, and it was a very, very close game in the previous swing round, and well, they're still showing familiarity with each other, not wasting any time on these bans. Capital, Gridlock, and Mirror are taken out on this Coastline, and Gridlock's it's a particular ban. You don't see that banned too often.
No, maybe one of the only occurrences I actually think I've seen Gridlock be banned on Coastline. Really strange one. There is a lot better attacking operators there that you could have got rid of. You think of operators like Jackal and Dokkaebi and Lion. And whenever this is a map which doesn't need hard destruction, we see a lot more of those operators kind of appear. But then, knowing Secret, they will want to probably have the Jackal in their lineup, but they're actually not going to go for it, which I'm quite surprised to, because they generally do bring the Jackal for the sets of smokes that they can also gain from it.
Yeah, I mean, there's always obviously the possibility of a 6th pick. Fido on Doc is just, I'm curious about seeing how they play this, but this is Coastline. It's a map that can kind of play to the aggressive style and the aggressive kind of hitting them before they even really get close to the building, and that's something that we saw them dabble in, but not really pull off successfully in the previous map.
So Chaos will take up Hookah first of all, and this bomb site, it is pretty easy to attack if you look at all the fundamentals of what you need to kind of check off. It would literally be take Aquarium, open up the quad wall, take below, and then plant. That's really it. And whenever I say take below, you literally only need to take control of blue bar, so you even have to do less work. You're literally taking a corner of the map, and that is it. A quarter of it, that's all you need. And you think to some maps where teams will try and take every single bit of control apart from the bomb site, it's a lot easier, I think, for attackers to kind of work out what they want to go for. And it just puts a lot more pressure, I feel, on defenders. And defenders really need to go in hard, like hard as a truck. Just push straight on in and get those frags early on. Have the roam game being established. And a lot relies on your anchors to try and slow down the push. Because like we know, since there is a lot less the attackers need to take, that's going to be more time for them to try and gain and start burning up your utility. And it's up to the anchors to see how they want to try and play around that.
Well, that's the attempted run out, and it doesn't quite meet its mark. Fido puts a lot of bullets, and there's the pickup from the other side. And with the Nomad off the board straight away, well, that leaves a lot more freedom in the hands of the defenders to start to pull this apart. Feral, the unfortunate victim to some of the aggression that we've already seen come out in spades from both these teams, to be fair. As we said, one of the staples that seemed to be the previous jaunt to Cafe was every single round was big swings and big rounds, and LMs finds a lot of bullets into Secretly, and a graze of one more would have been enough to at least put him down, but unfortunately can't quite find the solidity. However, it's going to make Secretly's turn and turn about a little bit shakier as he approaches future confrontation.
Yeah, and also that they know he's trapped in there. There was a little bit of pressure being applied by Renewals, but didn't really show himself away. But Funkers did catch him via the hatch being opened up by Meepy. That's a great start for Secret to get them underway. They will try and take in from Penthouse. Probably would want to have gotten Leon into VIP to open up the angle and covers all the crosses. Unfortunately for him, Fideline has picked them up before he can even get close. So this is not looking well for Secret and Chaos. They have a lot of control still. All of their utility on site ready to go. And I'm sure some stim pistols from Vitaline is still there and available for him.
Yeah, well, he's obviously at least used one to bring the Legion back into health, but as more and more bodies fall victim to him on the far side, yeah, he's used, well, all of them, I guess, as he bottom background, but Meepy has everything to do, and, well, not a huge amount to do it now. Suffers half health, and whoa, what a swing there to take care of Vido and take him out of the equation. But with no frag grenades and just a skeleton key, you've got to take a pretty monumental amount of control here. Has a minute and has enough time to kind of, you know, prod and pull apart maybe some parts of this map, but he doesn't want to give away his attention just yet. Sees the top and the backpack and can't quite catch it in time. Sees a little bit more of another person. He's getting drifts, but they're now aware of where he is, and he's going to swing back round to more aggression on the Aqua side. Nobody is going to fall for that this time, however, Meepy, and with only 30 seconds left now, and a default cam giving the game away and a smoke canister blocking your entrance. Well, this is looking like, for the second time, Chaos 1-0 up.
Vision in through the smoke, does limit Maestro, but the crossfire is there and the refry comes out. Chaos. Round number 1. And it kind of feels as if that round was won simply off the first spawn peak from the Legion. This is what we talked about. For this bomb site, it's very easy for the attack to kind of plan out what they want because they only need a very small portion of the map. You need to try and get in there as quick as you can to do something and get just anything you can to give your defensive lineup a bit of an advantage. And that was exactly what Secretly needed to do, and he done it well. So Secret, they now have to go for their second attack, and it will be onto the kitchen. Bringing same lineup again, not changing anything. I wonder if this is going to be a common occurrence, or if things do start to go south for Secret, then we'll see a bit of a switch up. But at the moment, everything just locked in. They're bringing the buck, obviously, in case there ever will be some vertical play that they need to try and take in consideration. And for kitchen, well, it makes a lot of sense bringing the buck in, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing about it as well, is we said Chaos kind of tried that very early round aggression in the previous map, and it didn't quite work in their favor. Coastline, however, in a way, it allows itself a little bit more to that. It's flat walls. You generally have these kind of tried, tested, and true spawn peaks to be able to try and pull people apart, and the pickup there was one of the other big worries, because yes, Vido put Feral down to half health, didn't quite get the opener, but there's so many other possibilities and angles for people to kind of double down on certain picks and pings, and you know, this is a play style that Chaos are more than happy to bring against Secret, as we have already seen. In the meantime, obviously, we'll see how they can kind of translate that to a second point. Obviously, they took the first in the previous map, and it was very, very back and forth through a large portion of it. So, in a way, I'm kind of expecting the same here.
Chaos, roam game being established towards the top floor of the penthouse and theater, and this just kind of slows down the progress from Secret, just ever so slightly. And again, this is what Coastline's about. You cannot give the attackers any kind of headway. You cannot give them what they want. And in this scenario, for Secret, it will be that upstairs vertical control. Secret, knowing that the penthouse and theater will try and be held against them, they instead will look to push in via hookah. And they've picked up their first kill secretly off the table. Lems has taken a lot of damage for it, but as long as he's alive, it's still a body that Chaos have to worry about.
Well, they're still, as you said, steadily getting control of this side before they try and careen their way across and put themselves into the Jaeger buried in 90. Lems has taken a fair bit of damage, but has the utility to at least force him a little bit further away if they want to try and burn through ADSs. Either way, they've got to try and take control of this side. And with two more bodies set up and one not too far away to rotate from the Lambo side stairs, well, they're going to have to be a little bit smarter than just throwing themselves at it one at a time, which they've occasionally fallen foul to. Fonkers, in the meantime, has crept all the way up to just the other side. Alems is going to find renewals, and they're going to try and draw some attention with the buck. That is a big take on 90, though, because that really breaks their hold up, and Fonkers is going to wide swing in and finds Vido. Doubling down on a firefight that was already in place. Good coordination from Secret not to accidentally just gun through each other, which is something we've seen a little bit too, unfortunately, much throughout this series.
Yeah, Chaos, they lose the upstairs to a well-coordinated push from Secret, and that's one thing that they're great at, is looking for multiple angles and really just collapse on the defense, trap them in a box. Red Groove tries to go for the creep up, but that air jab will send him away. And Secret now will begin their demolition of the upstairs vertical control. Siren now in Courtyard gets one, but then swiftly picked apart as Feral drops in, and another one lines up for him. Secret, round number 2 goes their way after a great upstairs room clear out and then an easy site execution, just down to the sheer man advantage that they had.
Yeah, really, really well played there from Secret, especially to get control of 90 and kind of cut all of that defense in half. That was such a big moment, because even if you did push the side where Fonkers had crept up beforehand, you've still got to then go through a corridor where they're on either side. That way it really limits where Chaos can play, where they can kind of rotate and retreat through, and you know, it just doubles down how much control Secret could have on the vertical. Kitchen service is going to be, as I say, double down onto the point. Chaos are going to try it again. I'm curious to see how much they throw upstairs. This time bringing the pulse again makes it seem like we're going to see some more aggression from them, some more counter response. Obviously, Secretly was the first off the board in the previous round, so we didn't quite get to see what he could do, but Pulse with the C4, with the possibility of, you know, seeing them. They entered via hookah last time. If they do that again and he can find one frag, that's what we've seen between these two teams. Whoever gets the opener often has a habit of then pulling everything else into line.
So Chaos will go for take 2 in their upstairs control. Wonder if they change anything for it. Well, would they change for anything? You know, Secretly on the pulse now, so Chaos perhaps favoring a little bit more information. Sure, they have the Maestro cameras, but I think that early information is like the big thing they're lacking for, if they can figure out how many players are pushing from what direction. And still for Coastline, there's a lot of destructibility that can be had with the C4s. If he's able to still lurk inside of Sunrise, for example, which Secret have no intention of pushing that side of the map, he can get a free pick onto somebody unsuspecting inside of Hookah, which we know that's where Secret did push from the last time.
Yeah, and that's the thing I was saying at the beginning of the round as well, that is the change that they've made. Yeah. They're trying to opt for more of this aggressive information, the lead-in, and this is the call and response game that these two teams often have a habit of playing. However, Alems isn't having any of it just yet. Takes care of Syred, who managed to find a couple of big kills to bring some of the round previously in their favor, and there's not been a response, as it looks like Secret have opted for a completely different take this time, going for a complete flat push so far, heading across from the opposite side and opposite door and trying to find their way, which Chaos it didn't seem like they were really expecting. But as I said,
why would they?
They're a good response team. Let's see if they can try and make it work, because this was a thing on Cafe, is the middle of the round, one player would kind of push round, and, you know, Chaos are a team that are capable of this, but they've got to try and find some ground to do it.
Funker's a really long angle, trying to eliminate the smoke. Nade, potentially getting bounced off the bomb chassis, and oh, that's how you do it. And Meatbee can now start the defuse. Vido, nowhere near the bomb site, being held by Feral, and he does get shut down, and the plant did get stopped by the C4, but Vido, too many men to go up against, and Secret, another very dominating round for them, and they just completely changed up their play. Everything they did was just opposite of what they did last time. They were aggressive, they took a different part of the map that Chaos were not expecting, just worked a lot better for them.
Yeah, it really kind of came together there to be able to kind of predict the responses that they'd seen so consistently on the previous map and go, well, why don't we, you know, let's change everything. Let's put it in a different ballpark, different game, and we'll give them something different to kind of play around with. Going to go back up to Hookah now, and obviously this was Chaos, and it was a convincing Chaos. They took this down with obviously the very early pick aggression, and then from that point onwards, it kind of just became a little bit of a systematic close down of what Secret were doing. However, as we've said of Chaos, Secret are a good response team too. They can change, they can adapt, and well, let's see if Chaos can be the ones that are a bit creative of their second trip round here rather than getting taken to the cleaners by Secret.
Upstairs again for Chaos, and this one was held well by them, and that was down to the early aggression that Secretly kind of applied. And I think whenever Secret lose that Nomad, they kind of fear the roam game from Chaos. We know that they are a great roam team. They have players there who can utilize that. Renewals especially. He's now in the Jaeger, has the 416 ready to roll. Just Secret need to be careful of those spawn peaks. You know, it's a very simple thing to kind of counteract. I'm curious to see where Secret will push in from, because last round, they kind of looked as if they were going for VIP, and that was kind of like their main goal, was then to get that Bandit in there, open up like that cross angle. Unfortunately, though, for Leon, he did get picked off like really early on, so he didn't even get to use X-Kairos that much. I think only on towards the quad wall, and even at that, it was just 2 pellets rather than the full 3, because he was holding it for, of course, the other one inside of VIP. Chaos, I'd imagine that they'll probably have a go at a roam game again, and yes, Renewals straight over to the other side of the map, along with Secretly, leads us to believe that. So they're not going to give Secret any control and comfort, because we've seen what happens if you give Secret that.
Yeah, they're not being as aggressive as they were, but again, it's good to see them adapting before they, before they're forced to adapt. They find themselves to try and, as we saw Secret do previously, is bring a different game, bring a different set of tools, and give them a new problem to kind of deal with. In the meantime, Secret are, well, trying to get this opening pick here. The pings are coming out for Funkers to try to lead through against Renewals, but Renewals is at the minute just trying to stay alive as long as possible. All 5 of Secret are barreling down towards the man in the corner who's just escaped fire to 90 but is trying to hold back for as long as possible. The pre-fires are coming in and you've got to give credit to how long they survived, but it was only really a matter of time with all the aggression that was barreling towards him. Alems, for the 3rd time in a row, has got the opening frag against a different member each time, and well, there's Meepy quickly following it up with another against Secretly, careening their way through the bodies of Chaos and closer to putting themselves in good stead on this half.
Yeah, Secret just tearing apart the 2 roamers, and now we will finally get to see the whole execute plan from Secret with all 5 members alive. So a lot of pressure on Chaos, still have a C4 and some smoke grenades. I don't know if that's going to help them whenever Secret have the man advantage. They have that overwhelming aspect to them. I like the fact that they're playing Funkers on flank watch, because in the position he's in, he is also right beside the bomb site. He can easily creep his way in through main corridor and try and unload a couple of bullets into the bodies of Chaos. And another nade kill for Meepy. He's been excellent so far in getting these frags landed. Finland just looking for that first opening pick for them, but still nothing comes off it. Now both of these members are locked inside of B with no way out, and the diffuser's being planted by Meepy once again, and just overwhelming gunfights happening right now. And Chaos, none of them have died yet. They're still here, both of them alive and well, as the jump in tried to come in, but Leon Gid sees to that. And now Sired the coach. 1 versus 2 pretty much. As I say, that Funkers does get picked up, and this should be a lockout round for Secret.
Yeah, diffuser down, upside down, repel on the Aqua door, and 2 people to the left. This is a very, very tough situation for anyone to kind of pull back in, even when you are the coach. Great pick against Meepy there, but with 1/3 of the diffuser time left and 2 more, and well, Zophia's just pinging stuns at you from range. It kind of just slowed all of the roll that you could make. Secret guarantee themselves 3-3 on the split at least, but with the trend that it's going, it seems like they're kind of getting themselves set up to be on a very good footing before the turn of the half. Coastline is similar to Cafe. It's any kind of team can make ground, attackers or defenders. I would say I think it's especially the Cafe that we've just seen at least, and I think Secret, they're just kind of making the most of these rounds.
Yeah, attack is very heavily favored in Coastline from my experience. I kind of feel that with Border as well in some cases. I think it's very attacker-sided with a great attacking team who knows exactly how to kind of play it out well. Secret on their attacks, they've looked a lot better than what their Cafe was, but I would say that both teams struggled with their attacks fundamentally. You know, Chaos only getting the 1 attack out of the 6, and then Secret getting the 2 attacks out of their 6. But now for this map specifically, Secret, they have locked down the roamers very early on. So they've learned from their first round mistakes. They've looked at and said, right, the first time we attacked Hookah, they beat us down to roamers. They're probably going to go roamers again because nobody in their right mind 5-man anchors in this bomb site. You need to take that aggressive standpoint, get your foot in the door first, and try and get the other team's foot in the grave first.
No, that's fair. I think one of the things that's also worth kind of looking at is so far from Secret, we're seeing less one-man mode heroics. We're seeing more of a kind of balanced push. It's droning ahead. It's, they're feeding each other, sure, but it's not, one person pulling off 3Ks and 4Ks every round. Across both teams, to be fair. Obviously, Secret are just the ones to point out because they've taken 3 of the 4, but it's more of a team push.
I'm intrigued by the pick of the Habana onto the Twitch. Perhaps Leon is fed up that he's not getting any kills, but F2 isn't going to help you, Leon. Just keep that in mind. No matter what gun you have, just give it a rest already. But I can kind of see why they would bring the Twitch, because it does help them with Maestro camera specifically if they lose Alems, or if Alems uses his Sophia launcher sooner and, look, they've just lost Funkers, which would have been another counter to the Maestro. And perhaps they see that Habana doesn't really give them a lot, and I feel as if more teams are kind of discovering this. Habana, it's not like the biggest thing you need. As Chaos now, they've just completely turned away this round into their favor. And look, Leon, you changed the F2, man. You don't get any kills. Shocker.
Well, life's sometimes
I would say I'm surprised, but I'm not.
Life's a bit too tough this time round, and well, Secret now in a 5-3, and it's happened very, very quickly. And this is that first round that we saw from Chaos, and in a way I'm kind of happy that we're seeing them swing back into it because it was very successful. And then they kind of got a little bit passive, unfortunately, and well, to be fair, Secret started to close them down brilliantly, and I think be a little bit more aggressive. As you said at the very beginning, you've got to shut them down before they even begin to try and collapse, because the situation of collapse to execute can sometimes be a very short space of time. Lems finds Vito with some pretty nifty shooting there across the open door and across the open site, but Feral's still a bit concerned about the rotation from Luggage. There's two bodies on the far side. One of them's going to go underneath, potentially going to try something against the office side, but there's still a lot left to do in the hands of the three remaining Secret players, and that is 40 seconds now gone.
Chaos, they're happy enough to sit back, relax, and put their feet up, because pretty much they've done most of the damage within inside the first minute. Feral creeping downstairs. He's right beside a man. He picks off, oh, two. I say he only picked off Syra, but then secretly just appears out of nowhere and gives himself away.
Yeah, that was very, very well played, I think it's fair to say, but at the same time, it didn't quite come in. And this was the big problem, to be fair, that we saw suffer and stumble when Secret were on their defenses. Is one player, usually Renewals, just finds a way in and finds a couple of bodies and completely shifts around's favor. Yes, Lems and Feral are exceptionally low health, but they've still got a fair amount behind them, and Meepy drops Renewals, making it just Red Groove versus the world here. Finds one, swings round, looks to try and find some more, fires the shotgun from range against the person on Billiard's window, but at this point, Meepy is free to try and get the plant down at the other point, and well, that is exactly how it was going to go. Secret 4-1 guarantee themselves a bit of a burster as they head into the final round on this attack. And it means, well, they're in good stead, really, to try and take this.
Yeah, again, I don't know how Chaos threw that way. I really don't. I don't understand why Cyrud would peek down blue. If there already is a man there, why do you need to peek down there to try and gain vision? Makes no sense. You're on low HP. You don't want to put yourself up there as a risk. A real rough one there for Chaos. But hey, Secret, they capitalize on the mistakes, and they've made that round work, even though it didn't look as if it was going to. Funkers has had a bit of a quiet one so far this series, hasn't he? Haven't really seen him stand out.
It's the thing about that team is, you know, obviously the way they kind of structure themselves is all of them have the capability of popping off. It's something we briefly mentioned before, and they can do it in different spates, but obviously, I mean, you and I, last time we saw Secret, I believe it was the last time we saw them specifically, Funkers had those 2 rounds in a row where he was like 1 versus 4, and he was able to pull bodies. It was on Villa, and he was above. But at the same time, you know, we've seen Feral do similar things. We've seen Leon do similar things. We've seen, you know, it's just the list of Secret players doing ridiculous things. And, you know, it's similar in a way to what we'll occasionally see of Na'Vi to a slightly different degree, where Na'Vi, usually it's a pair of them are having an amazing day, and then another pair have an amazing day, and Nello keeps the base cool.
Yeah. I think Na'Vi, they kind of ended up like that within like the first half of Pro League, I would say, where it was Doki and Citizen kind of running the show. But then just as they've kind of progressed as a team, everybody jumps on ship, and that's why now they're in the position that they are. So Chaos, not looking too favorable for you. You're 4-1 down. The only defense you won was the first one you had, and now you're up to go for the blue bar. The dreaded blue bar that is very open for Secret rushes. You know, we've seen Secret pick these apart in the past. Lineup from Secret, Funkers and Leon have switched operators, so clearly both of them realizing we're not playing too well. How about I give you an R4C, I'll give you an F2. How's that for a trade?
Yeah. Do you think it was Leon saying, I want the R4C, please?
It's not going to help him.
Do you think it'll help Funkers?
I don't know. Feral's been doing most of the heavy lifting, I would say, this series, honestly. I think he's been, like, the best player.
Yeah, he's been having a really, really good day today, Feral, but hey, it's the Feral effect. Leon finds Renewals, finds a body, and finds something on the ash as he creeps his way all the way through hallways. Very quickly found his way through the defense, and with the attention that's being put from the opposite side, he gets another as Red Groove falls as well, and well, he's making you eat some of your words here as Leon is looking for more and more. Unfortunately, Syred, with a lot of damage, is able to put some back in, but there is secretly finding a Lems who found Syred. A 3 versus 1, oh no. Secret 5-1 on the turn of the half.
they just walked in. Again, that quick, aggressive nature that Secret can apply to Blue Barn Sunrise is why I question why Chaos would go there. And there's your reason. You don't play against that team on Blue Barn Sunrise because you really need to spread yourself incredibly thin. We have seen Secret in this matchup, whenever they are posed with eliminating roamers in other areas of the map, they've been great at doing that. Whenever you have to do that, you literally have to force your way into a mindset of holding different rooms for Blue Barn Sunrise. How's that going to end up any differently? It's not.
Well, swinging around to the side of Hookah, Alem so far this map has been a pretty big part. Obviously being able to get the opening frag many, many times, but being able to give a semblance of control. In the previous of Cafe, for a player with his kind of kudos on the Maestro, couldn't quite find the ground, so I'm hoping to see a little bit more of those plays from him this time around as defense and lead to how well he's been playing on this map. And throughout this coastline. In the same time, Feral on the Vigil is going to cause a lot of problems and a lot of potential nightmares, and otherwise I think a good bring here that was something that you actually kind of wanted on the previous map from Chaos is the Jackal.
Yeah, that's an operator that we were kind of asking for from Chaos and Cafe. They didn't change anything. They didn't have like a big power operator to really see them through and assist them in the kind of roam setups that Secret had going for them. Now they bring on Coastline, which again is another great map for him. But Secret, they're looking to try and eliminate said Jackal before he even gets in the building. Feral going for a spawn peek. I don't know if Jackal's going to help them majorly. I think it could help the fact that Secret, they do kind of have like some kind of roam game, but they usually play in pairs, so the Jackal scan doesn't really help in that aspect if there's still another guy that, you know, Jackal can only scan one guy at a time. Imagine if he could scan two. Would have been nerfed a long time ago.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would have stopped playing for a couple of months, yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things is you've got to have the combination because you know you're going to be up against a combination of what is usually some very fluid cover from the side of Secret. So if you do go in one gun blazing, it's probably not going to go the way that it might on against other teams. In the meantime, Renewals was one of these characters on the Ashe that was pretty big at just finding his way inside a point, finding his way through a defense, then finding body after body after body. And if he can try and play that off on this map, he might be able to start to swing some of this momentum and favor to the side of Chaos. Otherwise, Secret, they're set up. They're waiting, they're wasting, and well, there goes Feral. Vido swings around a corner and cuts the Vigil's mask off.
Renewals on the Ashe. This is where Secret into panic, because the man has been on fire with this operator. A lot of barbed wire in his way, but gets rid of the Maestro camera instead. Secretly does have that flank protection, and yeah, he's still holding flank. That's don't really get that play from him, but still. Chaos are looking in really good shape. They have their control of what they wanted to, and that was the VIP to try and give Renewals an option in, and Leon the quick peek around with SMG-11, takes off the head of Syrid. Now it does go back into a 4v4, so a lot of pressure being applied by Chaos, 2 of them towards VIP, 2 of them in towards the Aquarium. But still, just holding firm, nobody really making any moves, and no moves from Secret either. Not a lot of flank options whenever there is Nomad.
Yeah, with less than a minute on the board, I mean, that's still plenty of time for the defenders, but for the attackers even, but the defenders are the ones that have to try and make it work. I really like how Leon was aggressive in and amongst being Jackal. Spot just kind of used that as a chance to swing around and bait his position, but here is a full Aqua stack. They're going to try and dig their way through and put their pressure across, with Renewals kind of covering the far side, and Red finds Leon Gids, and they've also found the foot of Alem through the floor. That's a big take, and Legion goes down as well. Suddenly all a Secret fall to the floor, and Chaos lock it down in expert fashion.
Again, Renewals on this Ashe. He's a demon. He's a masterclass on it. And Secret, the same issues that kind of led into Chaos was, yes, they had that opening, like, kind of aggressive kill from Leon, but it wasn't the same, like, roam aggression that we're used to seeing. You know, why are they not going for these dedicated offsite holds? Why are they not trying to go for the fight? You know, go for more spawn kills? We've seen, like, a little bit from Feral, but that was it. Where is the more aggressive nature we're used to seeing from this team? Don't give Chaos that setup, because them themselves, whenever they have the crossfires and everything established, they can be deadly also. And it just shows that that VIP angle is one of the strongest to kind of shut down anybody who wants to retake the site.
Yeah, it just really severely limits you on that kind of T-junction of the space you can pull across. It means if someone does hop through as well, you can still catch them as they hit the billiards table, with the kind of benefit of them being more concerned about what's going on in Aqua than the swing of you against the angle. It just really gives you a big staple and a big sightline towards it. And then you can occasionally get LMs through a drone hole as well, just to kind of icing on that bit of cake that Secret then have to eat. 5-2, there's still a big buffer of rounds between the pair of them, but hey, if you kind of find that many swing on your attack, it's down to Chaos to see if they can find the response to that. As you said, Secret, they gave up a lot of ground very quickly. They obviously did try a little bit of aggression on the run out, but then Vigil was dropped just from trying to hold the door, and from that point onwards, it was easy for Chaos to take as much ground as they wanted, and then, well, take the bodies that followed. So you're hoping to see a little bit more, as we said, aggressive fluidity from Secret. The ability to keep themselves alive, keep the entire map hot, and occasionally find people before they even know you're close.
Chaos look as if they're going to try and pressure the top floor, so in towards Penthouse and Feeder is where they will try and attempt to take. They have the Buck, who of course can start opening up the vertical holes in toward Kitchen, and that's the big thing that attackers have in favor of them, is that vertical control. You can basically open up the entirety of A and the entirety of B just from upstairs. It's pretty ridiculous, and that's why we see a lot of teams on the defense try and hold that, like Chaos did. But then we also see a lot of C4s coming in from defense. Only the one, though, from Secret. Just Feral. I don't know if he's going to try and save that potentially as some denial, or is he just going to go straight up for the C4? Probably just going to try and eliminate the Buck, because if he does, that just sets them up oh so beautiful. But still, I think for Chaos, they need to try and get this first opening pick, because whenever they do have that, it makes Secret have to kind of fall back a little bit and try and play their cards better.
Yeah, you can see them being obviously very aware of this is how the Buck's going to want to play. The pings are coming out, however, and it's a little bit of a dance now as Buck's looking for one body and Pulse is looking for safety, and they're just going to keep aggressively pinging and droning and try and feed bodies to Vital Line above. So far, no dice, and with 1:30 and all 10 operators on the board, it's down to Chaos to start making the collapse happen. But in the same time, you know, as we said, all this space so far currently in the hands of Chaos, they're very good at utilizing it. Very good at making it part of the parcel of the collapse that, well, so far has been mildly successful. There's the C4 and doesn't catch the body, but Feral and Leon suffer a huge amount of damage, as does Syred against this Lambo door fight, and they're just trying to find the finish on it, but with the space opening, somehow finds Vitaline and goes for the double. Can't quite make it catch. Feral is a bit of cover, but there is the pickup from above. And no, he can't quite get the angle yet. Leon knows his time is coming, and Funkers is going to come and double round from the officer's side as well to offer a bit more fire support against Lambo door. With 40 seconds, Chaos have got to make it work now.
First Toxic Bay being deployed by Meepy. Again, a lot relying on his shoulders, and finally, the Maestro in towards the reception gets taken out. So 4-4, 30 seconds. No real headway either from Chaos. They're not in a position to actually execute onto the bomb site, but that kill onto Feral may give Renewals the opening. There's the Toxic Babe, and Lambs does pick up that kill. Still for Secret, they have angles. They can try and hold it. Pings come in from the Maestros. As Funker still lurking inside a reception along with Meepy, diffuser being planted, nobody pouncing on the opportune moment. There's Renewals giving the cover, a triple for him again. The man's a machine. Lamb's trapped in bathroom, no more ammunition. Chaos, if you win this match, it is down to that man Renewals. It is down to the beard.
Yeah, he's having an absolute stormer of a day so far, and you know, it's one of those, it's a play day where you kind of go, oh yeah, this is what this team can be capable of. And we, as we've said before, we've seen them get so close so many times in a region that is so competitive, and they are, you know, they have the ability to keep finding rounds, keep finding positions, and keep finding just more and more ground to pull into their favor. And as you said, Renewals is a very, very big part of that. Kitchen Service, Secret are going to, for the first time, win or lose, take the point second time in a row. And, you know, I think hoping that they're a little bit more aggressive is the one thing that we kind of called for previously, but they just seem to sit there. And they're letting them be fallen upon, apart from a bit of a wide peak from Feral attempt and the collapse from Funkers on the far side. They responded to what was going on the Lambo door, but at that point it's a little bit too little too late, because you know, they've already found the one down against the bar. They're putting the pressure from above as well. They've got 40 seconds to make do what they want to. You need to have a little bit more bite against what they're doing.
Can we also just keep in mind that Chaos are playing with their coach? Just remember that. They have looked so structured, and they still don't have Shate. Still don't have him. I just think, though, that Renewals, whenever he's on another planet, he's been really bringing in Chaos these rounds. If it wasn't for him, if he didn't show up today, I don't know where this scoreline would take us. Probably the series would be over, because he has pulled them out of so many holes.
Yeah, it's fair to say that he's definitely been a big part of this, and some of that is that continued aggression that we've kind of asked for from Secret here, because he's consistently burying his way through Secret. He's just kind of, you know, and fearlessly to some degree of going, well, there's 3 here and there's 2 here, but I can just go here and kill this guy and this guy, and he's doing it repeatedly and repeatedly, and so far Secret don't seem to really have an answer for that question. And well, let's see if they can keep the magic rolling. There's only 2 rounds in it now, from a 5-1 to a 5-3. You're halfway there to, well, making it much less of a nightmare, but still a little bit left to go.
Same lineup for Secret. Don't really know what the Pulse kind of provided them. Apart from that C4 that we fought was like a sure kill for Feral, and surprised he didn't even take any damage from it. Once that C4 went out, he didn't use his pulse scanner anymore. So I don't know if it's just like a thing where they're only using it for that early information to say, okay guys, they're going to take from above. If he nails this C4 this time around on the Vitaline, this could change the outcome, I feel, because then that kind of limits what Chaos can open up, and it just allows the anchors inside of the main kitchen to really hold that down. Well, to be fair, like, even the anchors who were holding it, they got picked off pretty easily as well. Syrid, first kill, Alam's off the table, and that's the smoke. That is such an important kill, because it gives Chaos that extra 30 seconds now to try and get their head around what they want to do.
Yeah, that's a very, very big operator to pull out of this, and you know, now they've just got to kind of wait, I say, as Leon finds Syrid, gets the trade, and has pulled himself back from away just a little bit further behind the reception desk, which I think is a fairer move, because they've been very good at getting vertical, and they're not really being challenged, so you can't just sit there, because they know exactly how to crack that open. And yeah, you did get one last time, but it didn't take them long to double down and then find you instead, and at least you have an escape route this time around. In the meantime, Fonkers finds Secretly, puts themselves on the man advantage for the first time in, well, a little bit of time, and now Renewals is looking for an entrance on this main door on Lambo. Feral finds Red Groove, and it's Renewals on the front door, popping bullets towards the Maestro, sees the barrel of his gun, but can't see enough to deal any damage to him, and is desperately wanting to do something, but with no breaching rounds. Well, he's just got to wait for the mistake, and, well, he doesn't even need to wait for that, as Avido, again, collapses down from above and takes Leon out of it.
The amount of times where Maestro has given his position away simply down to the ginormous barrel that there is unbelievable. And there's a collapse from Secret. That was pretty simple from them, and that does put them on series point now.
Yeah, they've doubled down on Kitchen. They have the option, obviously, for Blue, and they have the option for Penthouse, but I'm assuming we'll see another hookah. Obviously, it didn't work the first time round, and it was a very, very good coordinated collapse from Chaos, but at the same time, you know, if Secret have a little bit of the aggression, because we saw movement from them, we saw repeated movement from them that time round. Yeah, they were still generally close to point, and they, you know, they were having their kind of set paths, but they weren't completely static, and I think that was a big difference between how that went from the previous round.
But Secret do have to go for the hookah, where Chaos looked very poised and kind of precise in how everything played out for them. I feel the fact that Secret didn't really have like an offsite hold or didn't put up any fight to try and deny Chaos what they wanted could have been a big downfall. So I would like to see a bit more aggression. Still waiting for like a Funkers play. We haven't had any Funkers as Bunkers moments yet, which I'm really shocked by.
Yeah, you know, it's the thing is like, you kind of always want it, but it's got to be the right moment. To be truly a Funkers' bonkers moment, you know, this is a game where everyone's kind of being a bit bonkers. The Funkers is bonkers. You need everyone to kind of be on the back foot, and then everything looks lost, and then, oh my god, Funkers, you're so bonkers.
Perhaps still recovering from his Finnish cabin weekend.
I know, they always have that. The Finnish scene always looks like it's having like the chillest time.
They all live together because, you know, just they're so close to each other in Finland. Because it's like half of it like just a ton of snow. You know, it's the same way Russia is like half of it's like you just can't live in it.
Well, Line starting to try and collapse down from the officer's side. A split push here coming out from Chaos, and again, they were very, very good at getting map control previously. In the meantime, the man that crouch walks Ashes and makes it look like, well, easy, is already putting bullets between Feral. So low health, gets past, and it's probably not going to try and take that again, and is going to be forced upstairs. And this is such a big, big bit of control to have, because now it's really... well, it's disallowed them to be able to rotate out. There's one man in Sunrise, and if they can get rid of this Ash, well, that can buy them so much more freedom. In the meantime, he doesn't really have to act too much. Feral has gone above, potentially going to try something and just gun him through the floor, but secretly finds Fonkers, takes him out of the equation, and makes the math a little bit easier.
Leon does get Vider, though, back 4, and that's nades gone. That would have been one of their main ways to kind of eliminate some of the utility, like the Maestro cameras there, but they still do have the Ash breaching around, but Renewals is never really in a position to use those. He's all about using the R4C, but you still have Sired there with, of course, the impact grenades from the Sophia launcher. Looking at Secret, the way they're set up, the fact that they still have this information being gathered by Feral, and if he goes untouched and they don't know where he is, he could also just swing around VIP and put an end to this. Leon, another kill for him, and now Chaos there on the back foot. With a minute or so to go, and not really any headway into the main bomb site, this is going to be a close one, and now we'll see if Chaos, how well they can hold it. But there's still a lot of guns they have to go through.
Sired hopping around on the hookah balcony. There's the run out from, well, Leon. It's attempted and it's punished by Renewals, and he's putting bullets towards the far side and making sure that whoever is playing around those windows is well aware that they are watching. Sired still drifting on the hookah back and try and find one more body as Red Groove is going to double down and try and keep control. They have
Feral's below.
Yeah, Feral is below, but Sired is heading up to the window. He's crept all the way and has his Nitro. He is a man that uses it late, but he uses it well. Red Groove taken out, and with 30 seconds, that is a very, very big frag. Sired is headed to the roof, which leaves Renewals going for a big, deep rotate. He finds Feral, cuts him in half, and cuts the movement he wanted to make, and now he's pushing up Cool Vibes. With only 20 seconds left, he's going to have to do this with all the pace that the power of an Ash can muster. Sired shoots the bulletproof camera, and Ash gets shot herself on Cool Vibes, all down to the stand-in coach to keep their dreams alive of heading to land, jumps in and somehow doesn't find Lesion, and whoa, a bit of a sketchy
shake to the head there.
And Meepy says, no, this is my bar.
Nice try. A knife fight to finish off things, but hey, Secret, they power on through 7-5, 7-3. They take that series, and well, what can we say? What a series it was. It was so back and forth. That cafe, what a game. And we have to commend, like, individual efforts were the most I've ever seen in any match. Like, there was so many just moments where somebody would turn up for 3 kills, 4 kills, whatever it was. Incredible.
Yeah, it was a really, really good showing, and obviously that moves them forward now. They're the 3rd team to make the EU semi-finals, but who they face? Oh, well, we just don't know yet, but we will be finding out in our next and final quarterfinal of the OGA Pit Minor Qualifiers. Do not go anywhere. Do not adjust your sets. We will be back after some very brief adverts for Vitality versus Forza.
predict the outcome, win the game. Get live coverage and schedules for your favorite tournaments. Analyze, predict, and vote to gain points. Compete with other esports fans and climb the leaderboards. Strafe, everything esports. Download now on iOS and Android.